It finally happened after years of growing up under the shadow of the greatest golfer of all time. Charlie Woods has just sent a thunderous message to the entire golf world at just 16 years old. He walked into the AJGA Team TaylorMade Invitational, ranked 604th barely, a blip on the radar, and walked out a champion, leaving behind a trail of stunned, pranked amateurs who never saw it coming. The numbers don't lie. 15 under par, a closing round of 66, 8 birdies, a 3-stroke win over some. Of the best junior golfers in the country, Charlie didn't scrape by with a lucky bounce or a fluke round. He dominated the same kid who was once known simply as Tiger's son. Just made sure the world remembers his own name. Make no mistake, this wasn't just another junior tournament. This was the AJS elite field. Players like Miles Russell, the current #1 junior in the nation, were there. Charlie didn't just beat them, he outclassed them every swing, every hole, every pressure-packed moment. In that final round at Streamang Resort, he looked like he belonged. No scratch that he looked like he owned it. What makes this even more surreal is the timing. While Tiger Woods continues to recover from injury and fade further from the competitive spotlight, his son just lit up the leaderboard and flipped the script. Suddenly, it's not about legacy, it's about arrival. So here's the question. Everyone's now asking, was this just a breakout performance, or did we just witness the next chapter in golf history begin live at age 16? One thing's for sure, the golf world just got a lot more interesting, and if you weren't watching Charlie Woods before, you're definitely watching now for years. Charlie Woods has been more of a curiosity than a contender. The son of a legend, he was introduced to the world not with a trophy in hand but standing beside Tiger Woods at the PNC Championship, mirroring his dad's mannerisms and swing like a carbon copy. Every golf fan saw the potential, the swing, the poise, the pedigree, but potential only goes so far when you're constantly measured against the most iconic figure in the sport's history. Charlie didn't just carry his own bag, he carried a name that weighed more than any trophy ever could. The pressure was relentless every time he teed it up. The headlines came first, followed by the cameras, then the expectations. Golf fans wanted to believe, the media built the narrative, but beneath all that noise was a kid still finding his footing. In 5 AJ events prior to Stream, his best finish was a modest tie for 25th. That's not headline. It's material that's not living up to the hype, and for some it was proof that maybe the spotlight had come too early, but Charlie never asked for the spotlight. He never had to. What he did, this wasn't a fluke. Ask for quietly. With every round and every swing was time, and now after delivering the biggest win of his young career, it's clear time well spent. This wasn't a fluke. This wasn't a kid riding his dad's coattails. This was Charlie Woods, arriving on his own terms in his own voice, with a performance that shattered expectations and rewrote his story when he entered the AJA Team TaylorMade Invitational. He was ranked 604th. ESPN noted that the field included 4 of the top 5 players in the AJA rankings. This wasn't a soft draw. This was as stacked as junior golf gets. And Charlie rose to the moment. Golf Digest says his ranking is about to leap, and you better believe it's going to skyrocket. Charlie Woods is no longer just a familiar last name. He's not a viral swing on social media. He's not just Tiger's son. He's a title contender. And this win didn't just silence the doubters, it made everyone start asking the same question. How far can this kid go? What Charlie Woods did at Stream wasn't just a win, it was a dismantling in a field loaded with the best young talent in junior golf. He didn't just hold his own, he outfought, and outright outplayed them. It wasn't about one lucky round or catching fire in the back nine. This was a 5-4 hole statement, loud, clear, and impossible to ignore. From the very start of the final round, the momentum was all his. According to Reuters, Charlie surged on the front nine, with a blistering stretch of 4 birdies in 5 holes, flipping a one-shot deficit into a commanding lead every time someone in the field made a push. Charlie answered cool, calm, and calculated. And that's the thing at 16, with the pressure of the Woods name and the youth spotlight, the cameras and a leaderboard stacked with elite competition, he never blinked. The field wasn't soft either. NBC Sports called it one of the strongest AJA lineups this season, and rightly so. The #1 junior in the country, Miles Russell, was in it. Luke Colton, ranked 5th, was right there too. But when the dust settled, Charlie Woods had beaten them all, by 7 shots over. Russell 7, that's not a win. That's a clinic. There's something different about the way Charlie did it. The body language, the rhythm, choices under pressure. It's not just raw talent. It looks like something more of maturity that most players don't find until college or even the pro tour. And maybe that's what's most unsettling for the rest of the is this just a breakout field, because this didn't look like a one-off moment. This looked like the beginning of something much, much bigger. Golf Digest wasn't subtle about what this means for the rankings. Charlie's going to leap hundreds of spots. But rankings don't capture presence. They don't measure fear. And after this tournament, every top junior in the country knows exactly who Charlie Woods is, and they know that when he's in the field, they're playing for second. So now the question everyone's quietly asking becomes a little louder. Is this just a breakout, or did we just witness the start of early greatness? There's something about the way Charlie Woods moves around a golf course that makes you stop and pay attention. It's not flashy. It's not loud, but it's precise, deliberate. Calm, cool, and calculated. That's how he dismantled the field of top-tier juniors at Streamong, and that's what has everyone talking, because talent alone doesn't win against elite competition. You need control, you need strategy, and at just 16, Charlie already has both. What separates him isn't just the swing, which is already one of the most technically clean motions in junior golf. It's how he thinks, how he walks into pressure and never seems rattled, his ability to manage risk, stay in rhythm, and make the smart choice instead of the showy one-stream song. Resort isn't a forgiving layout you can't fake your way around that course, and yet Charlie didn't just survive it. He managed it like someone twice his age, plodding his way through tricky greens and demanding tee shots like a seasoned pro. Yes, Tiger's influence is impossible to ignore. The footwork, the mental approach, the obsession with preparation. It's all there, but this week proved that Charlie isn't just a product of elite coaching. He's building something on his own. Even Tiger said it himself in a comment shared by the New York Post. Charlie is forging his own path, and that's exactly what it looked like under pressure, with the eyes of the golf world watching an elite players breathing down his neck. Charlie didn't rely on his name. He relied on his nerve. That's what made the difference. He didn't try to be Tiger. He didn't have to. What he showed at Streamsong wasn't inherited. It was earned. And if this is what calm and composed looks like at 16, just imagine what's coming next. So now that the dust is settled and Charlie Woods is standing with his first AJGA title in hand, one question is echoing across the golf world. What's next? Is this the start of a new era? One where the name Woods once again becomes synonymous with dominance, but this time from a new generation. At just 16, Charlie now finds himself at a crossroads paved with endless possibilities. More AJA titles seem almost inevitable. College golf programs are likely lining up with offers, and with this kind of performance, PGA Tour qualifiers are no longer some distant dream. They're a real, tangible option. He just proved he can not only hang with the best in his age group, he can leave them behind. So what happens when he gets a shot at the next level? There's buzz now, not hype. Real buzz, and the scary part, this could still just be the beginning. He's still learning, still growing, still building the mental muscle it takes to win consistently. And yet here, we are watching him take out the top amateurs in the country like he's been doing it for years. It makes you wonder, what will the golf world look like in 3 years? Will Charlie be storming through college golf, making his pro debut, chasing down his first tour cut? Because here's the thing. Every era has its spark, a moment where everything shifts, and Stream might have just been that moment for Charlie Woods. It's no longer about whether he can live up to his name. It's about how far he'll take it on his own. We've seen the scores, the highlights, the headlines, but what's happening inside the mind of Charlie Woods is what really sets him apart, because greatness doesn't start on the tee box. It starts between the ears. And if Stream taught us anything, it's that the mind of Charlie's golf IQ is miles ahead of most juniors his age. He's not chasing birdies blindly. He's picking apart courses with cold, calculated precision. The body language says it all. No panic, no wild swings of emotion. Just focus, just presence. Tiger once said, Golf is played on a 5-in course, the space between your ears. That quote might have been meant for himself, but it's just as fitting for his son. Charlie showed in Florida that he's not just physically gifted, he's mentally sharp and in a sport where pressure eats people alive. That kind of mental edge is priceless. You could almost feel the collective exhale across junior golf when Charlie Woods tapped in for par on 18, not relief, realization that the gap just closed, that a new player has entered the arena, and now coaches, competitors, and commentators are all watching with renewed focus across social media. The reactions came in fast. Pros weighed in, Asia officials praised his maturity, and within hours, headlines around the world echoed the same sentiment. Charlie Woods has arrived. Even Miles Russell, the #1 junior, who finished 7 shots behind, called Charlie's performance next level. But let's not pretend everyone is cheering. Some junior players now know the road just got harder. Tournament directors know viewership is about to spike, and fans, they're already talking legacy. Is this the rebirth of golf's most famous name, or the start of something entirely new? Either way, the world's watching and reacting. If Charlie's performance was the spark, Tiger was the quiet matchstick that made it possible, because while Charlie is making headlines on the course, it's what's happening behind the scenes that really tells the story. The support, the mentorship, the mindset. Tiger Woods, once the fiercest solo competitor in the game, has evolved into something more powerful. A father and a mentor. He's not walking every hole or barking swing tips mid-round. He's doing something harder, stepping back and letting Charlie find his own rhythm. But make no mistake, his fingerprints are all over this win. From the